One wrong call rewrote my fate. At 4 a.m., the apartment was a hush of shadows, pierced only by the faint hum of the fridge and the distant chime of a neighbor's wind clock. My husband, Nathan, slept soundly, his breaths heavy, unaware of my sleepless struggle. At 29 weeks pregnant with twins, rest was a cruel myth. Each twist in bed sent a stab through my spine, the babies inside me tumbling like they were staging a revolt. I eased upright, murmuring, "Settle down, my darlings," to the restless lives within. My feet grazed the icy floor as I wobbled to the kitchen, my body lumbering under the weight of two souls. Cleveland lay frozen beyond the window, streetlights casting a ghostly glow on snow-dusted sidewalks. I brewed peppermint tea, its sharp scent cutting the stillness, and sank into a chair, staring into the night. My thoughts spiraled. Nathan had been thrilled when I first shared the pregnancy news, his grin wide as he dreamed of a son to carry the Hayes legacy. But the ultrasound revealing twins snuffed out his joy. The man who once called me his radiant lily now mocked my swollen frame, smirking, "You're shuffling like a turtle." His barbs cut deeper each day, yet he demanded a flawless home, dinner steaming, floors spotless. If I faltered, he'd scoff, "Pregnancy's not a disability, Lily. Women do this all the time." I'd retreat to the shower, tears blending with the water, clinging to the hope that the baby's arrival would rekindle his love. But a cold dread whispered, what if he never returned to me? I wasn't always this brittle. Raised alone by aging parents, a botanist dad and a seamstress mom who solved disputes with soft words over coffee, I knew quiet love. By 21, they were gone, dad to a sudden aneurysm, mom to breast cancer. I sold their cottage to cover debts, left with a scholarship and a duffel bag. Literature became my refuge, and I tutored to survive. That's how I met Nathan, a 30-year-old depot foreman needing help with client reports. His easy charm, tossing extra cash with a "You're a lifesaver, Lily," disarmed me. I mistook his warmth for care. Within months, I moved into his place. A year later, we wed quietly. At first, it felt like home. But soon, his requests, "Drop tutoring, stay in, be mine," morphed into commands. Friends vanished. My world became his. I called it devotion. Now, I saw it, control. By January, the fracture was clear. At 29 weeks, I was wiping down the balcony door, craving a sense of order. Nathan had dismissed my plea for help. "I'm slammed, Lily. Handle it." So I did, teetering on a rickety chair, my belly throwing me off balance. The chair tipped, and I fell, slamming onto the hardwood. A warm rush followed, my water had broken. Terror seized me. I dialed Nathan. Voicemail. Again. Nothing. Panicked, I fumbled for a friend's number but hit a wrong contact. "Hello?" A calm voice answered, "James Carter, Nathan's supervisor." "James, I'm so sorry," I choked out. "My water broke, and Nathan's not picking up. I need help." "Stay there. I'm coming." James arrived swiftly, grabbing my go-bag and rushing me to the hospital. Nurses bustled, monitors humming as contractions ripped through me. "Where's my husband?" I pleaded. Silence. I texted Nathan, nothing. Hours later, I cradled my twin daughters, delicate as sparrows, their tiny lungs fighting. They were whisked to the NICU, and I lay there, hollow, wondering why Nathan hadn't come. James lingered in the hall, offering a quiet, "You're not alone, Lily." His steadiness anchored me, a stranger's compassion piercing my despair. 4 days later, James drove us home. The apartment felt off. Nathan's belongings, his speakers, his coats, his tools, were gone. A scrap of paper sat on the counter, scrawled in haste, "Lily, I'm gone. This life isn't mine. Don't follow me. Divorce is coming. Nathan." The words shattered me. I collapsed against the wall, clutching a car seat, tears falling as the girls whimpered. James read the note, his face unreadable, then knelt beside me. "You've got this, Lily. I'm here." I sobbed, grief and fury spilling out, but his calm presence held me together. 10 days later, Nathan called at 2 a.m., slurring venom. "Already with James, huh? Played me for a fool with those kids. You abandoned us," I hissed, trembling. He laughed, sharp and cold. "I'm free now. New woman, new deal. I'm selling James's logistics software, big cash, Lily. You'll be begging for scraps." He hung up. My heart iced over. He was betraying James, the one person who'd shown up. I called James, spilling every word. "Thank you," he said, voice steel. "I'll take care of it." Within a week, James's team caught Nathan and his accomplice trying to fence stolen code. Police nabbed them mid-deal. Hearing it, I felt no victory, just a quiet end. Nathan was gone for good. The months after were relentless. The girls needed me constantly, and I was alone, but I refused to crack. I revived my tutoring, teaching online to pay the bills. James helped subtly, bringing formula, sharing client leads from his network. His son, Max, 10, adored the twins, teaching them to clap, his grin lighting up their world. Their giggles became my strength. One April evening, I was pushing the stroller through a park, distracted by a client email, when a wheel snagged on a root. The stroller lurched toward a ditch. I screamed, grabbing it, when James appeared, steadying it with a firm hand. "You're okay," he said, checking the girls. Then, softly, "Lily, you don't have to carry this alone. I care about you, not out of duty, but because you're incredible. I want to be here, if you'll have me." My breath caught. "I'm not ready," I murmured. "No rush," he said, smiling. "I'm here." A year later, the girls toddle through our new apartment, chasing Max, who plays Big Brother with pride. My tutoring business thrives, covering rent and a small nest egg. James and I are together, moving gently, his patience a quiet force. Some nights, Nathan's betrayal haunts me, but then I see my girls' smiles, Max's laughter, James's steady gaze, and I know I'm home. A misdialed call, a stranger's kindness, led me here, to a life I built, fierce and full, for my daughters and me.